Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today we are looking at only a small amount of progress, and the piece that I'm working on at the moment took me about 3 hours last night, 2 hours so far today, and it's probably going to take me another, probably the rest of the night by the time I get round to doing some more. It's a USS Lexington 1 in 700 from Trumpeter. It's been a while. I did an unboxing of this, was it 6 months ago? Even longer, I have no idea. This is CV2 Lexington, as you probably know by the big stack, and we're looking at 1942 for the edition of it. Well, not edition, but they removed the main 8-inch guns that she had. Were they 6-inch guns? God, I've got the book here. 6 or 8-inch guns. I think it was 8-inch. I might be wrong. But they removed the main armament to give more room. They added AA defences on board. At the time, in the early pre-war 1930s, and maybe even I suppose into the early part of the war for the Americans, and obviously we've been fighting longer, as in the British Empire. The idea was you'd put larger caliber guns on an aircraft carrier so she could defend herself against things like, you weren't going to defend yourself against a battleship, but against cruisers and enemy destroyers. It really wasn't a concept that worked. If you had high angle guns, which Lexingtons weren't, you could engage obviously enemy aircraft with them, but as a defensive measure, they weren't going to stop you getting hit. Your best defence was your aircraft. So they removed them, and I believe by the book that I've got here, it's been a while since I've read it, I've literally got everything out last night again. I believe they became one of the Hawaiian Islands. They were used for the one of the defences of the Hawaiian Islands, because there was powerful guns. Right, so what's delayed this, apart from all the other projects that I keep coming up with on my channel? I really enjoy making my ships. I've always been interested in model ships ever since I would say that they were probably my favourite thing as a kid to do. I always loved the British, the old British films, the old black and white ones on Battle of the River Plate. The Admiral Graf Spee against our cruiser squadron. I used to love all those, Hunt the Bismarck, all that type of stuff, and they are probably my favourite. I enjoy the modern post-war Royal Navy particularly, but I also enjoy ships of all, from sailing ships to now, and merchant ships as well. I've said to you, even trawlers. I just enjoy them. So, but obviously mainly military ships for me, because I'm a military type person. So I was really struggling how I was going to do this, because the hull is, like most model ships, isn't plated. If you want to do any plating, you've got to do it yourself. And I was coming up with all ideas in my head over time. I was going to use plasticard, and I was going to plate the hull with that. And then I just thought it looked like a tortoise or a turtle, shell. I didn't really think with my skills plating it over with plasticard was the way to go, really. And I believe it was the Norwegian Ship Modeler. Is that the channel? I am subscribed. I dip in and dip out. He's got he does the 1 in 350s, and maybe even the larger ones, I don't know. And he was on about scribing, and I'm thinking, you know what, why don't I just take the bull by the horns, and why don't I scribe my 1 in 700 scale? Now, I've been using my Warship Pictorial 33. Didn't particularly want to, it's got a plan inside. It's the booklet of general plans as fitted, May 7th 1941 at Puget Sound Navy Yard, Bureau of Ships, United States Navy. So you get obviously either side the hull and the deck, a flight deck and whatever, as she went in for a refit. She's still got her main armament on this one, but I was mainly just using it for the scribing the welded. They're like on, I don't know if they're on slightly on top of each other or butt jointed. I can't remember. I was looking at the photographs, but all I needed to do anyway was a basic rendition of some hull plating, because it is nice to see rather than just a smooth side. I suppose you could argue in 1/700 scale, would you see? I don't know. I just think it looks a bit better. Well, it looks a bit better when decent modelers do it. When I do it, it looks like a street map of my local town, way all over the shop. But yeah, I'm having a go. What can I say? I've done one side and a third of the other, and wife's taken Archie out for a run round in the countryside for half an hour. So I thought, knock out a video, Gav, while you've got, because she's on holiday for a couple of days, and it'll be probably really noisy in the house. So I thought, well, we'll at least give you guys an idea. Put that down there for now. What I'm doing. I'm not going to actually do it on camera. I'm not that brave. But I just want to give you an idea of what I'm doing. What I've found is, although this is a 42 fit, I would have thought most of the portholes at that time, by this 47th of May 1941 fit, you would have thought most of the things would have been the same, roughly. But I don't know how accurate this is, because it's not accurate, as in not my plating, but all the port. Are they called portholes on a ship? Oh, okay. There's always that thing in there. I call them portholes. Scuttles, are they? Oh, I'm not too sure. But the little holes, they're not accurate to what I've got on the plan here, and I wasn't really expecting them to be honest with you. So what I've gone for is a rendition of plating rather than an accurate rendition of plating. So I've looked at where the portholes are, where they've put a join in the plates on the plans, and I've had to make a decision. You know, I go for the depth of what I see in front of me, and worked it that way. So let's go down to the bench, because that's all I've done. Don't expect anything else. Let's go down to the bench and take a look. Right, thanks for joining me at the bench, guys. This is the hull in question. Let's get to the bit that I've actually done. Can't see anything at the moment, I understand. So I've been scribing these. The plates on the ship aren't all exact. I suppose they do it for strength, I don't know, but obviously there are some plates longer, some shorter. Then you throw into the mix the way I've done it. These all have doors on. I've yet to see if they're, I mean, I'm looking on there's a colour photo. In fact, let's get it on here, Gav. So I'm not going to open up the book because of copyright, but she's obviously all open up there, so we'll say they're open up as well. Obviously for ventilation. That's obviously pre-war. But yeah, you can see where I've done these. These are all part of the booms for different for the different ships' boats. Obviously they're swung out when they're alongside. The one thing they're missing that shows on the ship's plans, and I'll have to look at that colour photograph afterwards, or remind myself. There are a couple of doors lower down, so I just need to check those out as well. I might try and scribe those in, although that's a disaster waiting to happen. What I've used is I've put a pin in a piece of dowel. It's actually an old ice lolly stick. It's a bit wonky, but it does the trick. Obviously super glued it in. And that does the trick. You know, you don't want to score it too deep because it's a 1 in 700 ship. And I don't know what it'll look like. I don't know what it'll look like when it's it's been primered and had some paint on, as in how much they'll disappear. Again, all these are all to do with where are we? There we go. These are all to do with different when they've got fixings on, different boat booms and aircraft cranes and booms as well. So that's what I've done. I don't think that's too bad. I mean, obviously I've got to put a base on it yet. This will be in the water as well. I presume these braces stop in. I haven't read the instructions yet, so I don't know. But they give you two. They give you a deeper red keel and a thinner one. I take it for the actual for the mounting at sea. But it would appear that you'd fit that in the bottom. It looks that way, and keep these for strengthening. But yeah, I had thought of trying to shut some of the doors off just for something different. But looking at that photo, they all seem to be open, so we'll go with that. I can't claim my scribing is brilliant. I'm new to it. What I've been trying to do, I know they say use that dino tape that you punch letters out on. Well, whether I'm spelling it wrong, I couldn't find any on eBay, so I got out some old electrical tape, which hasn't really been great because it's still though it's thick, it still bends under pressure when you come too close to it. So I've overshot a couple of times. So I use a sharpened, a sharp scalpel blade, and just pare away softly the where I've gone out, out of offline. Bit of marking. I even use this. This is better to actually mark on a flatter surface. I can get away with putting it down and then scribing along it as long as I hold it tightly enough. But yeah, I've started this because HMS Kent is almost, well, I wouldn't say almost done. There's a fair bit to go on it yet, in the sense of I stuck the anchor chains down. They're going to get a primer with that Mr. Colour metal primer tonight, and then I've done all the stanchions on her and painted those that hold up all the different, obviously, bits that stick out. That's a real technical term. Where the the rafts and everything get stowed, and I've got to put obviously all the railings. I haven't started any railings yet because I need to obviously get these bits done, because I need to give her all a satin varnish as well, so I can apply some decals. I want to do the decals on the ship before I do the railings, because I might be bending some trying to get into places, so I thought I'd do that first. So it was a case of, I really wanted to do one of my ships. I didn't want to do my other two ships I've got in the stash, my two Royal Navy Falklands veteran ships. There for another time, because I want to get some PE, and this has been waiting. I've got PE for this already, not obviously one of the old singing, dancing Pontos type kits, just Edouard stuff, but enough to tarp this up. Haven't gone for the wooden deck in the end. I decided that I didn't think the deck looked that bad to warrant the expense of a wooden deck, especially as I'm going to be painting it blue. It's not like a natural wood deck or anything, so I didn't see that I'd got anything to gain by that. So I just thought, no, let's give this scribing. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. You don't learn by just having it in a box, dear. So yes, it's yet another build. I know. But as I say, Kent is almost there now. And this was the other thing. Obviously, this is as long as Kent, because it's an aircraft carrier and 1 in 700. It's stowing it out the dust and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I've just got to be careful where I put it, because obviously I don't want dust on or anything. But I've got a while to go yet. When I've fixed the bottom on over the next couple of nights, I'll drill a couple of holes in and put super glue some nuts in the bottom to hold it while I'm working. Put a piece of foam, a blue foam or a piece of wood down to hold it as I'm working. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off. As you see, that's what she looks like without any work done to her, and that's what she looks like with the panels. the waviness there, that's just glue. I've wiped glue over the panel, obviously where I've scribed them, just to get the crud out of it. So obviously they're not as wavy as that. That's just the glue. I put the glue brush. So yeah, that's still got all this to go yet. But I don't know, for a first attempt, I don't think it's that bad. As I say, I've not just made it up as I've gone along the panels. I've tried to go with what the plan was showing, but obviously I would imagine to get that right, I would have to either fill everything in and then re-drill holes myself, and I wasn't going to go down that road. I haven't got the skills for that. So, you know, let's learn in small increments. So yeah, there we go. Not a lot to show, but I thought, well, I've got the quiet 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's one of Gav's videos, and let's get this up before I crack on. So next time you see this, hopefully we'll have all this panel line done tonight. I just need to sort these. Although I'm not going to drill out the holes, I don't think, for the portholes. I think I'll leave them, as like many other people have said, they're actually quite oval actually, but in places wherever it's not been straight to drill, they're a bit oval. But I don't know if I'll do that. I'll just leave them with some black in them. So yeah, we'll have some, as I say, the base on this, and get some a bit more rigidity into it, and then we'll see what they will actually open, because I've not opened the obviously instructions yet, and then we'll open the instructions and see what they expect us to do, and the Edward instructions, because obviously that's a separate thing all to itself. So, but yeah, all these, as you can see, there's bits of crud in them and that they'll need cleaning out really. So that's got to be done as well tonight if I get time. Look after yourselves. I hope you're not all at sea. See what I did there. And we'll catch each other on another video, whether it's ship related or figure related. At the moment I've no idea. Probably won't be massively heavy on videos this week coming, just because I haven't really got a ton of stuff to show you without, you know, as I say, the epic. I've got a couple more hussars that I'm starting tomorrow or Tuesday. So we'll probably have a Napoleonic catch up at some stage at the end of the week, or the following on the weekend. We'll see. Right, ramble, it's what I do. Look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other soon on another video.